Thank you for watching Jody's Corner, my favorite.
Thank you so much. YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. I am here and I have a spoiler-filled movie review. This is going to have heavy spoilers. I'm going to talk about some certain scenes that are in this film. I didn't do a spoiler-free version because there's just some things that I have to talk about. I'm trying not to rant on this movie. I'm trying to just be calm in this one because I had 3 days to let it dwell on me. So I think we're going to be okay. So I'm going to try and keep the blood pressure at a minimum and give you guys this spoiler-filled review. What's the review for? Well, it's for that Wreck-It Ralph. Part 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. I was the one saying that I believed that Ralph Breaks the Internet was going to be a better sequel than The Incredibles 2. Well, in my opinion, The Incredibles 2 had a lot of SJW and other things affecting that film that kind of bogged it down. And I gave that film a B. I still enjoyed it, though. Jack, I think his name, Jack. He was very funny. This film, I always had high hopes in because I really enjoyed the first one, and I thought the second one was going to break the mold with those Disney princesses that we all seen from the trailers. So I took my family out to go see it. We saw it in D-Box with the shaky seats. That was cool. First time I did that. And my son enjoyed it very much so. My lady enjoyed it as well. And for the most part, I enjoyed it too. And I'm going to give this a double-sided review. I'm going to review this film as most of the world sees this film. When I say most of the world, I'm talking about the casual moviegoer, even some diehards who love and watch movies every week, how they would normally go see the film, and how I'm really interested to see how a lot of reviewers review this film and if they caught those things that I caught in this film, which stuck out like a sore thumb. But I'm going to review this in the beginning as a regular moviegoer. Someone who isn't really paying attention to those fine details, I guess, or isn't as woke, you could say. So, back to back. So, all right, so here we go. This film was charming. It was cute. It was adorable. What's her name? I forgot her name. I forgot already. Shoot, let me pull her name up real quick. Sorry about this, guys. But I am so out of whack with it. Vanellope. I think it's Vanellope, yeah. Vanellope is cute, adorable. A lot of Sarah Silverman in her voice this go around. Her voice was much more... It sounded... You could tell it was a grown woman voicing this little character. Like in the first film, you could kind of tell that was Sarah Silverman, but she still had enough high-pitched squeak to it where it was like, okay, cute, nice, I like it. But in this film, she was much more Sarah Silverman. You could hear it, and her voice acting kind of got on my nerves a little bit because you just hear Sarah Silverman. Even though you hear Tom Hanks as Woody, those characters are different. That doesn't happen here. You know, it's Sarah Silverman is the girl, and that's what you think about when you hear her, if you recognize her voice. But she was adorable, cute, and Ralph was Ralph for the most part. Lots of bright colors. Gal Gadot's character was cool, and just the way they depicted the internet was amazing. Let's just keep it honest. The pop-up blockers to the spam and viruses and emails and all that other stuff. It did all the stuff that breaking the internet, when you hear that in the title of a film, it did all the things that you think it would touch on for the most part in this film. And it did a pretty good job. Shout out to Google and Disney and all that. It was great. So the movie's basically, you guys know what it's about. It's about Ralph, the Ralph and, I forgot her name again. I keep forgetting her name. Whatever. The little girl's name. Her game shuts down because the steering wheel gets broken because she gets too excited while racing because she wants to do something new. Ralph builds her a track. She decides to take this alternate route. She gets excited because she's tired of living the same boring life, and this young girl wants to flap her wings and be free. Arcade game breaks. They need to replace the wheel before her game gets shut down forever, and she disappears. So they go to the internet to find the steering wheel. They go to eBay, find it, and the adventure starts there with all the things that the internet can provide. Now, once it takes off on this adventure on the internet, it's fun. You know, you get to see all these different things and YouTube and Google. And the most important, amazing part of the whole film was when they went to the Disney castle. And I tell you, that shit was fire, bro. Like what you see in the trailers, yeah, that was there. But there was a lot more than that. And I gotta say, now that I've seen all of the Disney princesses in this 3D type of live action look, I got to say, I'm a sucker for Belle. Belle is the most beautiful Disney animated princess of all time. And this film reinforces that for the most part. But I gotta keep it 100. She was second most beautiful. Because my second of all time was first in this film. God dang. Ariel was gorgeous. Ariel looked the best. Then it was Belle. And then, you know, they had Moana, Mulan, they looked pretty darn good, you know. Who didn't look good, who looked like a gypsy wench witch dragged down drug addict was surprising to me, but not too surprising. Jasmine, she looked terrible. She looked the worst out of everybody except Brave, the girl that plays in Brave. She was ugly. But just seeing them interact and hearing them talk was great. I could see how a lot of people would love that. And that's just the fluff of this movie. That's the take that most people are going to walk out. Oh, that was a cute movie. It was fun. Yeah, I liked it. That's where that review ends. Because I started to catch on to these terrible SJW, feminazi, political, rapey culture, Me Too movement bullshit. This story is really about, there's an underlying story. At the top, what most of the people are going to take away from the story is that you can't be best friends forever, and you don't have to be with your best friend to be best friends, right? That's the overall story. Sometimes you got to let them go to keep them close, right? Get you. But the underlying story, the plot narrative that they woven into this film that a lot of people didn't see, is the plot of bullshit. It is women are adventurous. They're interesting. They want to flap their wings and be free. They want to break all the boundaries and go out and be amazing. And men are stupid, emotional, rapey, buffoon, idiot barbarians who get in the way of women becoming who they want to be. We men are living in the Stone Age while women are pushing forward. And looking at this picture here, I just found this picture off of Google, and this very much so represents what this film is about. If you look down here in the corner, bow, you see her running off to be free, and you see Ralph confused, deranged, doesn't know what's going on, falling for the confusion and the bullshit while she goes right through the bullshit and wants to be adventurous. That's what this film is. It's a barbaric monster of a man chasing this innocent little girl. And this film did something so drastic as to throw in, to me, what I saw was really obvious to me, was to throw in an alley, rapey type of scene. There was a scene in this movie, and they went even so far as to make a big, giant, rapey beast, monster of a man that represents all men who are just dumb. I need you, come to me, everything, my best friend forever. It was really, 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 really bad. And I hated this movie for it. There was a scene where she caught a virus and she wanted to go and be free. And she didn't want to tell Ralph that, hey, I want to be with you, Gal, because Gal is the hero. Gal is cool. She's a female, this racer chick. She's the one that's cool, and she's the one that you need to look up to. She was a very SJW character. And that's what she wanted. And she didn't want to tell Ralph. Since you're best friends, you don't want to tell him that you don't want to go back home. You don't want to get your machine fixed no more. So Ralph is doing all this for you, and you don't want to be held back. He represents the past. He is bringing you down. He is not letting you grow. You don't want to go back to him, so you keep it from him. So what he does in response, because all men are stupid this way, she don't want to be with me. I'm going to create a virus in the game to make her come back with me. So he creates a virus, ruins the game, ruins everything, and she spazzes out on him, says, I don't want to ever see you again. She just goes off on him and doesn't have any understanding or compassion at all. You're just a monster for doing what you did. Take this heart. I don't want it. This friendship was this. when it meant everything to him. And she was willing to throw it away like it didn't mean anything so easily, and she didn't care. So what he did was he became a glitch. He became a weakness for this virus, and the virus attacked him and created all these other Ralphs. And some of these zombie, retarded, dumb Ralph's copies that were getting made were getting duplicated and duplicated and duplicated. She was walking in a dark alley in this film, scared, like, what is going on? And then two Ralphs come out of an alleyway, like, friend. She was like, I told you I never want to see you again, Ralph. Friend, come to me. He was trying to attack her, trying to show her love and affection, hug her, grab her, grope her in a way, grab her, trying to assault her. And she was like, Ralph, you're scaring me. She had that she had that SJW voice. You're scaring me right now. What are you doing? And they were like, come here. And she was running from these two Ralphs. That was a straight up alleyway rapey scene. And they put that in this kid's movie, man. This movie is freaking effed up. And then they ended up making this big, huge Ralph. This big, gigantic, skyscraper tall monster who was chasing this little bitty girl. She was running from him, running for her life, for dear life, because he loved her. This man was so crazy in love with her, he was willing to destroy the city, kill people, and do anything, not thinking, just to get at this girl. He loved her and wanted to get her. Like, I want to love you forever, be my friend forever. And it represented just how this culture that we're in, this Me Too movement, this oh my God, he looked at me weird, rapist. Like, oh my God, he groped me, but it was just a backpack. You know what I'm saying? It's that. And I hated seeing it. Like, he was. And then there was this scene where Ralph said, oh, you have to understand and let her go. It's going to hurt, but all that. I get that. That was fine. But that symbolism and that ideology that was in this film really bugged me deeply. And in order for Ralph to be saved, because the guy blew up, I guess because there was two options. There's only two options for you to fix this big giant. It was option one was to lure him into this gateway where all of them will be destroyed, or as a joke, he said, have them all go to therapy, because this crazy man needs to go to therapy in order to cure himself. So that's actually what ended up happening. They all got therapy together when Ralph gave that speech. They got the therapy and they all became healed, and they disappeared, and Ralph fell because he was so high. And as Ralph was falling to his death, the amazing Disney princesses came to save the day. But the way they did it was so wrong, in my opinion. Like, I didn't like it either. And they involved the Disney princesses as well. They kind of took a poop on the Disney princesses as well. They were kind of making fun of it. And they were like, oh my God, a big, strong man in need of our help. Let's go. So they went to go rescue him. They made the Disney princesses, they took a poop on him because this little girl was asking them questions, and their Disney princess was like, oh, do you go at ledges and wait for big, strong men to come and rescue you? Yeah, you're a princess. And she was like, kind of distanced herself from that. Like, nah, y'all bitches is from the old school, and I'm a new school character who does her own thing, so no. And that's what I got from that. So at the end of the scene, anyway, the princesses do this epic. I ain't gonna lie, this shit was bomb to look at. FYI, you need to make this a movie. A Disney princess hanging out movie. $1 billion idea. You guys already thought about it, I'm sure. $1 billion thing. Make that happen. So Ariel, I think Ariel gets water, and then she swims in it and shit, and then Elsa comes and freezes it and saves him and slopes him down, and they knitted a dress and put the dress on a clothesline with the help of Guth and Cinderella, and then Ralph falls right into this dress. They put that motherfucker in a dress and laid him on the bed like a little bitch, like Sleeping Beauty, and they all hovered around him. Oh, you're one of us. They demasculated the man in this film. They turned Ralph into a tranny and put him in a dress, saved by women, laid him on this bed like a damsel. And the representation of the classic damsel in distress was actually illustrated in this film. They showed the big Wreck-It Ralph, like, was King Kong. It was basically a King Kong scene. I got the girl. I'm going up a building. It was that barbaric bullshit. Like, I really didn't like this film. The character of YouTube. She was a PR, and she was working not for YouTube, but she was a PR person that delved in YouTube. She was cool. She was a black character, but she was powerful in a leading position, and she was smart and all knowing. And Ralph was just getting this help from these women, and he just couldn't solve anything for himself. He went to this man to get this virus in a dark, shabby, shady place, and this slug was a disgusting, vile beast creature. Of course, the man has the virus, and he got help from this pop-up ad. And of course, the pop-up ad was a man. He was a goofball, loser, no life weasel. So all of the men in this position in this film, for the most part, were just buffoons as far as supporting characters go. The only character that I think that when I think of a male figure that was actually in this film that was of help was the Google assistant, who looks up everything. He was kind of crazy, but he looks up everything and helps you out. That's kind of what I think. But he was kind of feminine, if you ask me, though. But he's the only male character that was actually useful in this film, because Ralph was a straight moronic idiot without I keep forgetting. I forget her name. Why do I forget the girl's name? Vanellope. John C. Reilly as Ralph, his voice was good still too. It was on point. So yeah, Vanellope was just the leader in this, the one who was being bogged down by men, trying to get away from men and try to teach men that no, you have feelings, I have feelings, you need to control your wild, beastly emotions and your urges, man, and understand that I'm a woman and you have no right to try to bestow your friendship and your willpower upon me. So you need to let me be free and get some therapy. I mean, that's what this film was about. There's a lot more other scenes, little tit-tats, little stabs in this movie that really, really bugged me, that tie into this whole entire process. So with that said, I have 2 grades for this film. The official grade for all of you people who are going to be in the comments of this video saying, what are you talking about? I didn't get any of that. I understand why you didn't get any of it, because you don't see what I see. When I look at film, I'm looking at the whole film. I don't get the surface message. Sometimes there's a underlying message in these films. And if you don't get it, hopefully after I explain this to you, you might get it. Go watch it again, and then it will stick out like a sore thumb. I promise you. If not, then maybe you shouldn't try to look at movies critically like I do. But I have 2 grades for this film. The first grade is the grade that most of you guys, 90% of the general public, is going to run with and say this movie was charming and innocent and all that. And for that, I give this grade. And I see it. I could be that type of person. I could be that person. And as that person, I can understand fully how this movie gets a B. I give it that B on the level, for the most part, with the Incredibles 2. The Incredibles 2 was an SJW film that pissed me off. This film was worse, but it's about the same as where I have it. So that's where I'm at, a B with that film. So as a movie critic, and me personally, how I put my own understanding into this film and understanding and seeing this film for the message that was underneath it. Real quick, I need to find out who wrote this. I'm not going to be surprised. So Pamela Ribon and Phil Johnson. Phil Johnson and Pamela Ribon. All right. Those are the people who wrote this film. Known for Moana, Ralph, and Samantha Who. Okay, so me knowing what I know about this film and the way all those innuendos and ideologies and all the stuff that was involved with it, I give this film an F. It failed. It failed. It failed. I don't respect movies like this. I don't, because you're feeding these films to children, and children, for the most part, will only see what most of the people see: the surface, the cuteness, the fun, the internet, all the joy. But some children psychologically compartmentalize what they see, and some children will be able to take away that, oh, boy chase girl, girl leader, or the message. Some kids are going to take away from it. They'll see it, they'll understand it. Some kids will. Some kids might even subconsciously understand and perceive this film, which I believe that was the objective, for children to subconsciously take this notion away from the film. So I did this review very calmly, and I was going to onslaught this film like no other. But I gave myself a couple of days to think, relax, sleep, eat fat abs, and sleep some more. So because of it, I'm able to just objectively review this film for you guys. I do not recommend you taking your children to see this film, even though personally I don't recommend it. If I knew this film was like this, I wouldn't have went to go see it. The same for The Incredibles. These films are targeting our children, and they're teaching them messages that are just not good. They're just not good. And I don't know. It's this films like these is what depress me about humanity. They depress me. And the number one way to change society is targeting the future. And who are the future? Our children. You target our children, raise them up with this ideology, and then that will be your society in 20 years. And I see that happening now, back to back with Incredibles 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet. And it's only going to probably get worse. I just pray Toy Story doesn't do this. Toy Story is on the roll. It's arguably the greatest trilogy of all time. Now it's no longer going to be a trilogy, so it will definitely be the greatest. What the heck is quadrilogy? I don't know what they would call it. A 4-series film of all time. The only competition it being like Indiana Jones and like Rocky, but I still have Toy Story 4 competing. It'll be the best quadrilogy of all time if they don't do what this film did. I worry about that. I really, really do. And I'm looking at Lion King too. I'm looking at every kid's movie from now on. If I once I see female leads, and I got my eye open, man. And it's not about. I like Gal Gadot's character in this. She was great. There was nothing wrong with her character. It was Vanellope's character that was the problem. The racer. She had a cool name too. It was a really cool name. Shank. That was her name. Shank. Dope name. Voiced by Gal Gadot. She did a great job. She even did some singing. I really liked it. But it's freaking Sarah Silverman. And it surprises me that Sarah Silverman wanted to do this role, because she seems like a girl who's kind of cool. She defended Louis C.K. for the jokes about, grabbing him, touching himself or whatnot. But I don't know. Sarah Silverman, now I'm looking at her like, freak, man. And you heard her voice coming out in all of those scenes. It was like, oh, God. All right, anyway, guys, I'm just rambling. So thank you guys for watching this review. I understand that some of you people who didn't understand what I'm talking about are going to get pissed off. And that's fine. That's your problem to deal with, and it's not mine. I'm laying these facts out for you, and I'm laying this shit down here for you about what's in this film. And if you don't understand it or see it or grasp it, or if you don't give a freaking understand that poisoning our children is a bad thing, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? I feel sorry for you. You know what I'm saying? What they did in Beauty and the Beast with LeFou and shit, turn him into a transgender, cross-dressing homosexual man, and just weirding him out. I really believe that, if you want equality, you have to do it the right way. There are wrong ways to do equality. You shouldn't take from somebody to have equality. In order to get equality, you shouldn't take from another to gain it. You should just be allowed it. You should gain it and be it granted to you. Meaning, in order for me to make women look good, I'm going to make men look stupid. That is not what feminism is. That's toxic femininity. That is feminazihood. That is bullshit. I hate it. Me as a feminist myself, I hate it. You make women the man's equal, not superior. That is not what feminism is. It's about equality. You do not need to take a shit on a man to make the woman look good. You just make the woman look good and make the man look good. Please, Hollywood, get this shit together. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.